Hey yo, hey, I was watching the sneakerhead video the other day, and it got me back to thinking. I was looking at them, they was looking at like some Jordan ones and some SBs and stuff, right? So I was like, yeah, I got to thinking it was like Valentine's Day coming up, but I remember back in the day, like in the 90s, we would go all out with something like Valentine's Day. Even as young shorties, we'd be like 6th grade, junior high, high school. Man, when the Jordan ones came out in the 80s. But like my first pair was the 13s, right? I had started my own business, and I was working for somebody that worked at Foot Locker, and I got some 13s. But back in the day, that was like 98, but not 97. The 12s came out like 90.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought.
96 or about 96, 97. The 11s came out, something like that. And the 10s dropped when I was in junior high school. I remember the zebra stripes came out when they had all his accomplishments at the bottom. The 10s were so ill. We was playing against the school in the Heights, right? Junior high, 8th grade, they came out. But back in the day, we'd be messing with a Jodeci, New Edition, Bill Beard, Boys to Me, and Hard back in the day, right? Hey, yo, girl, I be sitting in class, right? My girl a love letter, all class. But I be up on my school and stuff, though.
Hope you find good
I give it a love letter after class or something, right? No joke. This was like my whole junior high, 5th to 8th grade. I used to write girls love letters. Even back in 1st grade, I used to buy my girl something for her birthday, go to her birthday party. Like I used to stay on south side. She stayed on the south side too, but I stay on the east side of Ashland, right? She stayed on the west side of Ashland or something. But I go over her house for a birthday party, even throw her something for a birthday. This was way back in the day too. The first grade, I was on stuff like that. But
What?
junior high, it was we was buying our girls something for Valentine's. We'd be going to little dances and stuff at our school, so everybody had a girlfriend. So we'd be like, we'll buy our girl something for Valentine's Day or something. Even back in the day, as a young short, if you had something. You bought a rose, some candy, a teddy bear, a flower. You know what I'm saying? Some you'll get your girl something back in the day. This is like 96. This was 96. I was in high school, freshman. 93. Yeah, 93,
Hope you
94.
find I guess.
We'd be on something like that. And I think back in the day, I bought my girl something like some old school Cortezes or some SBs way back in the day. But I think I had hit a lick at something like Famous Footwear or something. I ain't go to Foot Locker like everybody else or something. I went somewhere else. Then we got in high school. It was like different back then, though. It was because New Jack came out. Really like Disorderlies came out in the 80s. That was my thing. I went to see Disorderlies, but there was a lot of other stuff came out. Then New Jack came out, Juice came out, Boys in the Hood came out.
Looking for stuff.
Everything came out right in the 90s. Then like 96, 97 some, 96, something like Ready to Die drop. No. The doubles, yeah, Ready, Reasonable Doubt, It Was Written, what you call it, like in the 90s, All Eyes on Me dropped in like 97, 98 or something like that. First double CD or something came out. Everybody was wigging off.
Somebody say something.
But you remember, you hear Biggie talking about coogies and stuff. So by the time we got in high school, they came out with coogies. Big had dropped, went platinum, multi-platinum, 5 mics every time. You know what I'm saying? Two LPs or something dropped. Platinum, 5 mics both times, 2 for 2. It wasn't no stopping them and stuff though, right? So then, but it was different back then, because in the 70s they was having drive-bys and people was wearing bandanas and stuff. In the 70s they had a lot of just getting out of the civil rights movement for the most part, right? A lot of gangs started back in that time around the civil rights movement. But come back around to the 80s, boom boxes out, you know what I'm saying? You get you a tape, you have your Dawes Effects, LL Cool J, Diggable Planets tape, Boogie Down Productions tape or something with your boom box. You chill in the basement, you know what I'm saying? You chill in the basement, shooting some pool or something. Go to the store, you know, Space Age Pizza, go to Space Age Pizza, play Gallagher, grab some Harold's, come back home, go to the basement, listen to the tape. Go to the candy store, get you some sunflower seeds, pickle juice, you know what I'm saying, some Chewy Chews, Bazooka Joes, you know what I'm saying. It's how the 80s was. It's how the 80s was for me. March to the candy store. My cousin had a candy store on his back porch. We used to march to the candy store, come back, boom, do our thing in the basement, shoot pool, listen to the Boogie Down, Diggable Planets. Then we go to the 90s. You know, I realized the difference between the 80s and the 90s was, okay, 80s MCs came out, Monte Carlos, box Chevys, Cuddies was coming out, box coming off the 442 design, the Supreme, you know what I'm saying, with the racing stripes, right? You look at the Cuddies, they had the racing stripes, right? The 442s. Then they come with the box Cuddies and the Regals, the box Regals. And they was coming up with Buick Park Avenue box, Buick Grand National, and they was coming out with Regals. And then they came out with Caprice Classic, right? Caprice Classic with the detective cars, right? In the 80s. But after boom boxes went out, sound started coming in the 90s, where people had to have speakers, amps, 6x9s, you know what I'm saying? They had 6x9s to go with the amp, get you some 210s, 215s, whatever you could fit in your trunk. And then they was coming out with rims and speakers in the 90s and sounds, right? So you had to have something in your car. I ain't get it. I got my Broham. Everybody rocking Broham. Cadillac Broham. I was a shorty. I ain't even have a license early 90. I ain't get my license till 98. I ain't hit 16. I was 17 as a freshman in college, going to Florida, living in on campus. 17 as a freshman. So I was 16 as a senior. I was 16 as a senior, right? I hit 17 as a senior in the middle of my senior year, and I ain't hit 18 till I was in college, my freshman year in Florida. So I ain't get my license till my senior year in high school. People was driving sophomore year, sophomore year of high school. They let you drive. So I ain't get my I got Broham 98 Oldsmobile, right, in 2000. No, 2003. I'm sorry, 2003. I got me a Broham, but way back in 96, right? I was a freshman, 95, 96. They came out with young people had Caprice Broham, a box Chevy Caprice, right? Box Chevy Caprice, Oldsmobile Broham, Cadillac Broham. It was like Broham mania, right? Regencies back at that late 80s, early 90s. But then you get to rock them in high school. You get to drive to school, get you a box Chevy, throw you some sounds and some rims on there. But that's when it started getting crazy, because people was getting jacked for their rims and sounds when Menace to Society came out, because he jacked, because Kane Jack homie at the burger joint, right? So that's what, like, the difference between the 80s and the 90s. When the sounds and the rims came out, people start jacking way harder. People start getting jacked. The drive-bys was always going on. But in the 90s, the 80s, they was gang banging hard. Cocaine got hot in the 80s. 90s, sounds and rims came out. People started getting carjacked for everything. Straight to the chop shop. But then they came. But if you had box Chevy back in high school, anything Broham, Caddy, short bodies, boxes, Grand National, you take your girl out, you get her some kicks, like some mics, like some zebras, right? I call them zebras, the 10 black and whites. Jordan 10 black and whites matching. When he came out saying every cutie he wanted Coochie, right? So everybody was rocking matching Coochies to homecoming and winter ball, and matching shoes with their girlfriends and stuff to the dances and stuff, Six Flags and stuff, you know what I'm saying, matching fits. So that was the thing back in the 90s. It was like, yeah, that stuff was ill. I think I caught my girl some way back in junior highs, like some old kicks, like some old Nikes, even some Cortezes or some SBs or something, probably some real plain Nikes or something. I bought my girl. I know I bought my girl something back in the day. I bought my girl some t-shirts back in the day. I think we had matching t-shirts for a field trip or something. But when I went out, I think no, I might didn't buy matching, but I bought my girl some for a little field trip. We went to Six Flags or something. But back in the day, man, that's what it was like, man. It was like, get your girl a matching outfit for a dinner dance, or homecoming, or winter ball or something like that. Take your little pictures, show everybody your pictures.
I'm sorry.
You had some sounds and stuff. That was like how it went down. And like me, I ain't get my car till what, like '03. I got my Broham or something like that. But I always had a gig. I always had chopping stuff back in the day. I used to work and stuff. Yeah, since I could work, I used to work. So I'd be like, but man, that's how it was, man. You had to be sweet with your girl back in the day, man. I mean, if you had a girlfriend, you trying to kick it with her on half a days of school or whatever it was, you trying to
Whatever it is you're
talk to it on
looking for. Plates.
talking to her after school or something on the horn or something. You know, that's how it was back in the '90s, so if you was on your Joe to see your Boys to Men, H-Town, Rude Boys, New Edition, Bill Biv. Shoot, that's all you could do as a youngster, I'm telling you. Back in the hood, back in the day, you know what I'm saying? If you ain't had that chop, stuff was wild.